I don't think there is a final form, Case. I just want to be creative, right? I've been through so much crap throughout my whole life in regards to my health issues, going through dialysis, going through transplant. What got me through all of that is being creative. Hey, it's Kase Avila. We're in Gadigal land. We're about to go to a basketball court to record some sounds for my sample pack. My music is feel-good hip-hop boom bap, a lot of samples, a lot of soulful chords, jazzy progressions. I use found sounds in a lot of my drums and percussions to kind of give it that, I guess, the ambience, give a bit more texture to the beat itself. Cool, so yeah, we're going to a basketball court. I've always loved basketball, you know, growing up, always watching the sport, NBL, NBA, wanting to be an NBA star, but unfortunately I've got the Filipino genes, so it didn't happen. But yeah, basketball I hold really dearly to my heart. You know, it's one of those kind of therapeutic things for me too, not only as an exercise thing, but gives me a lot of therapy. Basketball spaces in general is a very, you know, there's a strong community in Sydney for basketball. Having ties with a lot of the homies that I play with. You know, I used to play mixed basketball with my wife too. You know, it's one of those really team building sports. But it can also be played by yourself, you know, just having that solo challenge with yourself and having those kind of mind games of how many you can kind of get in a row. So at the basketball court, there's obviously a whole variety of sounds that we could use, you know, from like dribbling the basketball to getting a swish in, you know, depending on the nets. Might be a chain net, might be a cotton net, nylon net. But yeah, it's all these different sounds that you can kind of create with it. The sounds of your feet, the shoes, that whole kind of, you know, outdoor vibe, getting some interesting sounds with the poles. So I'm hoping to get a bunch of sounds at the basketball court, hoping to get like a nice kick drum, nice basic kick drum with the basketball dribbling, potentially getting some really cool, I guess, high-end sounds with the nets and the swoosh if I get the shots in, like some really cool percussive sounds with the ball hitting the backboard or the wall. So in the environment, there's probably a bunch of challenges that we can, you know, come across. There's obviously the weather. It can probably rain in any minute. Sydney is really unpredictable at the moment. There's also the amount of people around, you know, might be people playing at the courts. It's a pretty popular court because there's a tennis court right next to it too. There's all these birds that can kind of interrupt the whole recording process. But yeah, hopefully we can kind of overcome all of them. So the genre I'll probably do is some boom bap, old school hip hop. Probably use some, you know, old school inspiration from all the drum breaks that they've used previously. So I'm gonna get these raw sounds and hopefully create some really cool percussive drum loops and percussive drum rolls, like hi-hats or snares even. Hopefully getting some notes out of some of the sounds that I create so I can create some really cool chords with it and chord progressions. So the plugins I use, the main one I use is Serato Sample. So I do a lot of sample-based chopping, and that allows me to bring in a sample and chop it up and manipulate it and change the different keys and pitch and whatnot. And I use a lot of stock effects too. So using the glue compressor, using Simpler, using the built-in reverb, built-in chorus. My creative process is very, yeah, I treat it almost like a gym session. So I have a particular set time that I work on my music. So whether it be super early in the morning or after work, and I just try to lay something down. And I always aim to post something on Instagram, whether it be trash or whether it be good. And then I can kind of always reflect on them, look back at them and see if anything were actually good or not. I actually have a kidney problem, kidney issues. I've had an autoimmune disease since I was 18. So I was unfortunately on dialysis for a while, and that's literally a machine doing the kidney's job, filtering out all the blood. So I had a lot of spare time, and during that time is when I actually started delving into music software. When I first started making beats on a computer, I was using GarageBand. Obviously there's limitations to that software, and I kind of upgraded to Ableton. And Ableton, I kind of started experimenting with the different capabilities of the software. You know, I was actually using Ableton to help me with my first kind of DJ sets, and using like a MIDI controller that had 16 pads on it and triggering all the songs from there and making beats. So yeah, I've been doing that for a while now. I'm 37, so I've been doing it for almost 20 years, which is pretty crazy to think about. I am working on a new project that has a bunch of Australian singers and rappers on it, as well as some new beats, so that's hopefully coming out very soon in the new year. My dream project would be to score a video game. I think that would be really cool to kind of delve into a different space altogether. And obviously I'm a big kind of gaming geek as well, as like I love my comic books, I love all my art and illustrations and whatnot. Any game, really. Could be an iPhone app. I know Jonty's done that already, and I was like, motherfucker, that sounds so good. When Happy Mag reached out to me, I was super stoked. Obviously, they've done some really cool videos in the past with other amazing artists, so to be part of that roster is an honor. Just being able to connect with people, that's really big for me, and I guess inspiring people and kind of telling them how to do things and mentoring them, I guess. I really love that aspect, so I'm more proud of putting someone on than putting myself on. I'm gonna show off a bit now. Neptune, shut up!